normally I wouldn't spend time looking at this, but Elon Musk is said, you guys want to look at this. So let's look at this. I think it's something that we should be aware of. Doink.
Open borders plan to entrench single-party rule.
Okay, when I first saw this, again, it was shared by Elon Musk, but it seemed to conspiracy theorists to really look at it, but because it feels very paranoid. But the Elon Musk tweeted saying this is actually happening.
Single-party rule explained in under 2 minutes. 1. Flood the country with untold millions of illegals by land, sea, and air from all over the world.
Now, do you reckon this is what's going on in England as well? Right? I mean, or is it just to give cheap labor to very wealthy people? Right? I mean, it doesn't seem like they would. Okay, would the illegal entries into England, would they all vote Conservative? Because the Tories seem to be really big into them. I don't know, right? It's very hard to work out. But yeah, in America, sure.
Enough to eclipse the populations of 36 individual U.S. states so far. 2. Prioritize.
I mean, that's a huge number. When you can eclipse the population of 36 states, that's a huge number.
The needs of these millions of non-citizens over the needs of the American citizen, with free flights, buses, hotels, meals, and phones.
Well, yeah, look, I mean, we've all been watching this going, what's up with that? Right? What is up with that? It's been really weird. It's like the, what's it called again? The Border Patrol, sea something? I can't remember. They traffic. They become one of the biggest sex traffickers of children in the world now.
Ensuring their loyalty to the political party that imported them. 3. Keep them in the country at all costs, even when they commit violent crime like murder and rape. Attack the language used to describe the criminals, as opposed to the criminals themselves. Slander critics as racist. 4.
Yeah, but Biden just did that, right? Okay, but it's weird. Normally, there's still people who don't realize this.
Ensure their privileges are made irrevocable with city and state sanctuary laws that act as population magnets. Codify permanent status and ensure non-cooperation with ICE. 5. Count the non-citizens in the census that will determine congressional apportionment in the House of Representatives. As of now, that would equal 13 extra congressional districts, a tremendous amount of electoral power. 6.
All right, that's crazy. I didn't realize that.
Wage a massive, heavily funded lawfare campaign to change state voting laws that legalize mass mail-in ballots, no signature verification, and no proof of citizenship requirements.
And again, it's amazing how dumb people are to just go, thinking this is on the level, right? They're just so dumb. And it's intelligent people all the time who are so dumb.
Making it nearly impossible to prove voter fraud.
Well, that's the point.
7. Lock in the permanent voting majority with campaign promises of lavish benefits and permanent privileges, enshrining generational fealty to the Democrat Party. 8. Win elections. 9. Entrenched single-party rule has been achieved. The best part? Your tax dollars are paying for it.
Yeah, and again, I think because Elon Musk is tweeting that, it's probably worth paying attention, right? I think it's probably worth paying attention. The whole Trump thing right now, so it seems like Trump's going to let the okay. If you don't know, let me catch up really real quick, right? Donald Trump is a real estate person, right? And so to build real estate, he goes to a bank, says, "I would like to borrow a sum of money to develop a real estate. You can leverage that against my property, in this case, Mar-a-Lago," right? The bank then says, "Okay, let's just value that property. Okie dokie, everything's good." They negotiate a rate, and that happened. And they built the building. The bank got paid back. Everybody got paid back. Everybody made money, right? It was a very successful transaction. But in New York, they've decided, no, they're going full tilt communism. Again, the centrality of Western civilization, literally beyond the Bible, is property law, right? So they said that his property in Mar-a-Lago wasn't worth $1 billion, but more $18 million, which was ridiculous because a parcel like, you know, a thumbnail size of it, like a tiny bit of it is worth like 56, right? That's what they're selling for. Like, and he had 2 coats, and they've going business, and you know, it was it's ridiculous, right? It was but they said. So they said in the summary judgment, he didn't even go to trial, that yes, obviously he committed fraud with that, even though no trial, right? So then they had a trial for did he falsify documents to the bank, which I think was no, right? But anyway, so they valued how much he needs to pay, which is $500 million, and says you need to get a $500 million bond. And Karen O'Leary from Shark Tank has been going on TV saying that doesn't exist. You can't get a bond of that size. Like, apparently not. Like, it's not like when you say you have $2 billion, it doesn't mean you got $2 billion in your pocket, right? It's in properties, and like you don't have $2 billion billion cash dollars, and it will be impossible, I think, to liquidate enough to get that. You have partnership, but anyway, it's just literally impossible. So they're going to instead seize his property. So so people are like running from New York, terrified, right? Absolutely terrified, because you don't own your property anymore. They could just come and take it. Like Tim Pool saying, we got to source a different supplier for our coffee because it's based in New York, and the government can just come and take it, and they can. It's a weird. They absolutely can. Right, but it's not just that. It's on a more individual level. Check this out. This woman inherited a house from her parents, and she went to go there, and she found people living there. And I'm cutting the story down a little bit, right? But and she got them out. Oh yeah, fine. This is it. And this isn't that video. My mistake. She got them out, and do I have that video? Let me see. And then she changed the locks, and because they changed the locks, the cops then arrested her, right? Because you're not allowed to illegally evict people, even though they had no thing, they were there. So this is the thing where this is going now, because the police are on the side of the squatters, of the illegal, essentially, and they've really worked this out. So check this out. Okay, so this is, thank God they translated it. This is a scary Mexican dude. I have a thought about invading a house in the United States of America. You turn off. I'll just say what. Invading a house in the you could just invade a house. Okay. I found out that there is a law that says that if a house is not inhabited, we can seize it. Guys, here. See, in the United States, this also applies to, and this is going to hit all the rich people. Go to Martha's Vineyard. Oh, go to Martha's Vineyard, mate. Let's see what happens.
La de invasión de terreno.
Land invasion, and I think it will be like my next business invading. Abandoned houses, since I've looked for some codes with my friends Americans, they told me that they have already taken about 7 houses. As the saying goes, Daddy, you have to look for the return, and the return right now is to invade a house, since we are not in a street situation, and in the only way we have to not live in a street and not be a public burden is to steal a house. The law says that the abandoned houses deteriorated, and that's a bad condition. We can get and repair and live in it, and we can sell it even for credits with what do you say? Yeah, that's a scary Mexican dude. Let him say that.
Manera que tenemos para no vivir en la calle y no ser una carga pública. Capichi, la ley dice que las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que
dude. This is like the end of all property law, because they will defend these guys. The cops will defend these guys, and so now apparently you have vigilantes who go and they say and they're chasing away the migrants now. It's like literally falling apart, right? It's literally all falling apart. At the same time, I saw this, and this was incredible. Hang on a second. Where is it? Doink. And then we'll get to chat. Where is it?
General Tim Davie has accused campaigners of whipping up outrage over the BBC's coverage of transgender issues. Yes, Tim, it's completely all in our minds.
I mean, really, Tim? Really? Did you see Doctor Who, you cunt? Really? I mean, like, oh, I'm not boy or girl. I'm something different. Yay, I'm a bad actress with a dick. So bad, I haven't convinced you I'm a girl yet. That's a pretty bad actress. Right? That's a pretty bad actress. But no, Tim Davie says, nothing there, mate. Not happening. No, you're making it up. Oh, you're having a laugh.
Just been making it all up. Of course we are. Well, look, let's talk right now to defund the BBC's campaign director.
Yes, we love them. Oh, Julia, close your mouth, darling.
Rebecca Ryan, who joins us. Hello, Rebecca.
I would say, by the way, I really enjoy Julia Hartley-Brewer, even though I disagree with her about a lot of stuff, right? I like that she's like, oh, God, just a sensible British woman. I mean, that's why I like, what's her name as well? Katie, what's her name from The Apprentice? Is her name Katie? I can't remember, right? But yeah, oh God, it just like everything seems to make more sense when it comes from her mouth. Ooh.
Hi, Julia. Thanks so much for joining us. I mean, it is extraordinary that Tim Davie has made these comments. He was speaking to MPs yesterday, and he said he'd only received a handful of emails about one particular row that's come up recently. And this is about the Radio 4 presenter on...
Fuck that! Doctor Who! I don't care about anything. Just tell me about Doctor fucking Who. Yeah, said blah, 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 blah.
And very quickly, this was dealt with. And he was found to have
some bloke said trans woman instead of biological. Oh, what the fuck? There it is.
Effectively, taken aside on a controversial issue. We know that a lot of senior women at the BBC have gone...
What, you mean like they did with Gaza? Like on October 7th they did?
It's not controversial to state facts. Trans women are male. He didn't even say are men. He says are male. They said, well, maybe if he said biologically male, that would have been okay. That's what male means, biologically male.
Again, doesn't things sound more sensible when she says it? It does, doesn't it?
I'm pretty sure, knowing Justin Webb, that he's fairly unhappy about this, as indeed are a lot of other people. But according to Tim Davie, he'd only received a handful of emails about this, and the controversy has been whipped up around us in a way that is deeply, deeply damaging. At the same time, by the way, John Humphrey...
Yeah, don't fucking deny it. Have you seen any of your pieces of shit shows? Oh, no, it's because of Netflix. That's why. No, it's YouTube. No, it's the stuff you make is shit. Stop making shit and people will watch it. I mean, God, it's not rocket fucking science, is it? Oh, fuck me.
Used to be a presenter on the same show, suggested that actually the organisation Stonewall has more influence with the BBC than it does in the outside world and is an issue. What do you make of this? Is it all in our minds? Are we just whipping this up and it's just not an issue?
I mean, we see this on a daily basis. It clearly isn't.
I mean, like this is like Tim Davie saying, "I've been captured by the insanity."
Just in our minds, is it? We see this in BBC's news reporting. We see it in the broadcast coverage. A woman has been accused of, has been convicted as a paedophile. These things are, these words are being misused all of the time, and it's really dangerous.
Misused purposefully. Misused with the intent to confuse you.
It's actually, isn't it? And what we see is the BBC taking one side on what is a contentious issue, but also it's just science, it's just fact, and what we expect from them.
I think I'm not even prepared to give ground. It's a contentious issue. You have fucking up weirdos who make it their fucking religion, but it's not contentious. I'm sorry.
The BBC, in order for them to be allowed to tax us essentially for the TV license, is journalistic excellence. So that means that they should be dealing in facts, and they should be able to deal with,
Of course they can't. And if they did that, they would have to admit they're wrong. right? Like, yeah, look, I have it's the weirdest thing. I have a very pro-Biden neighbor, right? Very, very pro-Biden, hates Trump intently, right? But, you know, to be that, you've got to be a low information voter, right? You've got to not know what's going on. And she's not a dummy. These people aren't dummies. I think they're, but they're like subconsciously, and they know if you start fact checking the news, you become right wing, right? It's just yes.
These sort of issues where there are two sides who are at loggerheads, and essentially what this comes down to is the BBC bowing down to a small but very, very vocal,
very vocal
campaign group. And throwing out, you know, the views of half of the country are women, basically. It's
more than half. I think more than like I don't think it's contentious. I think more people believe there are two genders and only two genders than believe in Christ. Okay. Yes, I do. Right. I think it's a good measurement.
It's not wrong, and it should not be offensive to people to say that, you know, a trans woman is male. You know,
no,
that's
exactly. Or even a trans woman is a man, because that's what
anyway, fine. We can just go on for it. But like Tim Davie, you cunt. Right? Did anything else go on? Let's see what you have to say.
They actually genuinely think that's what people are talking about, or someone who's gone through all the operations, as opposed to, you know, a 6-foot bloke with a beard saying, "Oh, I'm a woman today."
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.